There we are. Yeah, I think we are live now.
Great. All right. I see some people joining us already, which is great.
Yes, hello, Kaushik Batula. Good evening. We have Shirampur, Sasan, Bhagat, Basudev. Okay. So Shirampur, I think you have been part of our sessions. I think we have interacted with you sometime in the past.
Kaushik as well. I think Kaushik is also part
Kaushik
of
also, yes. Kaushik as well.
course as well as the channel. Near 007. Good evening. How are you? Deepak's joined us.
Okay. So nice to have all of you joining us. Good evening. So Neer is on James Bond mode, 007.
Okay. Very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
the essay topic I think requires for some bit of James Bond like missions. Go after the topic, focus, single-minded, attack the topic, go deep into the topic. Hi, Sachrit. Hello, Yadu, Isha. Good evening, all of you. Good evening, all of you. Excellent. So, Deb, let's get started then. I think students have joined us. By the way, one question to all of you, online students, aspirants together. Did you all see the essays paper? What was your opinion? Share something. Say something about the essays paper 2025. Hi, Aish, Malik, Samra. I think I got the name right this time. Malik Samra. Say something about the SS paper. Dave, you too saw the paper, right?
Yeah.
And what's
Yeah.
your opinion?
In fact, Shabbir, before we get into the papers, I think we should spend some time on this. Just 3
Okay.
seconds.
Okay.
Both
Yuki.
you and I are wearing Yuki shirts today for the first time together. So, just a quick reflection on
Yes,
that,
please.
I think. Yeah. So, I think as many of you know, we started this new Gen AI platform for learning. It's out there, it's online, it's free of cost right now. So many of you have also joined, and thank you for that. Thank you for giving us feedback. It's been an amazing journey for Shabbir and I, and we have put all our learning into Yuki, and we hope we can make it what we wanted to for the students, right? So we had some goals for the students, and hopefully it will meet that goal. So thank you again for being early adopters, and more more features, great features coming down the pipe. Yeah, Shabir.
Yeah. So, guys who do not know about Yuki, you can directly join Telegram channel Ask Yuki or https ://askyuki.com and go figure out something. It'll be a fun learning the way we think learning of the future should be and how the learning of the future will transform. And Deb is right. We have put in all our experience, all our thinking, all our dreams. Sometimes, Deb, I look back and I kind of think that this is the journey I was on all my life. The small steps that we have taken, my own career as teacher, as a student. So I think this is where it all converges. So thanks, Dave, for being around with the team, for partnering, and we working together. And I'm sure the aspirant students will love it. Okay. Yes, it's not perfect as yet, but It should be the smartest way of how you can learn, how you can, take tests, track your progress, make your notes. So, yeah, we start off then. So, welcome
Absolutely.
Yuki, welcome friends. We get going now.
Yeah, so Shabbir, you asked me what was my reflection on the essay paper, right? So let me say that right up front, I felt like no surprises was the first feeling I got, right? We have been talking about this moral philosophical topics for last so many years, and we modeled our entire course around that too. Like, how do we understand, appreciate philosophies? How do we get the underlying implied wisdom behind the essay topic and get to the core? And I think I was pleased in a way to see that the UPSC topics are exactly the same, moral and philosophical terms. And we have talked so many times, right, that they've been tested for their GS knowledge, for their current affairs knowledge, for their sort of basic language skills in written tests and other tests in mains and prelims. So it totally makes sense not to test that again in the essay paper. So that was my initial thought. I was like, yes. And so many PYQs were very similar to the ones we saw in this year too. Yeah.
Yeah, no surprises. No surprises. The pattern has been on abstract philosophical lines. So Yadu says questions were all life lessons. Yes, that's what philosophy is all about. Life lessons, what you have learned through the journey of your study, whatever you can talk about in terms of reflections. So SS paper is not current affairs. One of the things that I actually am not happy about is when we are teaching essays, there is a trend among many teachers, mentors, and students alike that the whole objective of essay writing is let's fill up the pages. And let's fill up the pages. How do we do that? We force current affairs. We force some story. We force some examples. Students do not see essays paper as an opportunity to talk about what they think, as an opportunity to share what their understanding of life, wisdom, happiness, struggles, courage is. So rather than seeing essays paper as an ordeal, as a paper where you have to go through the mechanical process of writing, filling up pages, you must see the essays paper as a very nice opportunity, a nice medium where you can talk about you as a person, your thoughts, your assessment of issues, your understanding of life challenges through the topic that they have given you. Okay, so yes, you're right, Dave. The SS paper is not a GS paper. SS paper is not about current affairs. They are not testing your knowledge the way you have acquired knowledge through the subjects in academics that we have studied. So yes, so no surprises. No surprises. It was exactly the way SS paper has been. Okay,
Yeah, and
they're a
to
lot abstract.
stretch that a little bit more, right? So if you look at prelims and mains, if you are a complete bookworm, you know the subject in its entirety, you can qualify, right? But UPSC qualifiers are not bookworms. They are
Yeah.
well-rounded personalities, right? So there is no chance a bookworm can qualify this test because there is essays and there is interview. So there is a way they are testing for well-rounded personalities that can lead, that can drive change, transformation in this country. And I think if you understand life, if you think you understand life, the comment that these were life lessons is incredibly valuable. If you understand life and if you have carefully analyzed life, then you are bound to score well in essays. And I think, Shabir, you use the keyword think I always repeat this, and I have heard you say it so many times that essay writing is not about writing, it is about thinking, right? So
Yeah.
if you allow me, I'll share the essay paper on screen, and then we can continue the dialogue.
Yes, please.
Let
Yeah.
just um, let me do that really quickly. Okay, so we'll come to our Telegram channel a little bit later, but hopefully you all can see this. Um, this is the paper that came, right? So um, section A, section B, 8 essays. What do you think, Shabbir? What are your initial impressions? I told you no surprises. We can start from there. But now come the nuances of these two sections. Is there any broad thoughts that you had on the paper?
Broad thoughts, Dave, is that they have kept true to the themes they have been asking. Topics on courage, topics on life introspection, topics on creativity, topics where student must talk about balance in life, happiness, duty. So wahi hai. Okay. Contentment is natural wealth, luxury is artificial poverty, is that balance thing that they're talking about. Life is a journey, not destination. This is also about introspection of life, the purpose of living. Creativity is around thought finds a world and creates one too. Okay, about life, living. So best lessons are learned through bitter experiences. Okay, the idea about don't give up in adversity. So themes wahi hain. I cannot see anything different there. And in fact, what I felt is this: there is an element of a repeat of some themes and almost the topics also. There's a topic number 7. It's best to see life as a journey, not a destination. It's very similar to one more topic asked earlier. The happiness is a journey and not a destination. Very similar
Yep,
there.
yep. There is no path
Life,
to happiness.
yeah,
Happiness is the path, right?
is
Yeah.
the path. Yes. So it's very similar on those lines. That's my quick. So I don't think students, and very importantly, I don't think any topic was ambiguous. There were years when certain topics were difficult to interpret, topics were difficult to understand. These topics, I think, all of us understand more or less. Okay, the intuitive understanding is there for all the topics. So now, once you do that, nobody can say, that we did not understand the topic. Uske baad, the game is all about how you write, to develop the points, develop the arguments, go deep. So that's my quick assessment. So
I think
not
I think Shabir, Isha has a point which is mirroring what you exactly said right now. She said, "Yes, sir, questions themselves were teaching a lot, deeply abstract in nature." So I think this deep abstraction, how do we get there? I think students, you and I have both seen the students struggle a lot to actually articulate the arguments, right? So they can get the keywords, they can get the meaning. I think to some extent, they can understand the position they need to take, but the articulation of argument is where they struggle. And I was thinking, Shabir, that we have seen a lot of videos where there is analysis of the papers, frankly, right? People go into all sorts of analysis of these 8 topics, and they break it down to different keywords, dimensions. But I believe, like, in a 1 hour sort of duration, you can't do justice to 8 different topics and go deep enough. So I was thinking, if we could maybe choose one today and actually show the process, because see, the answer is different for each essays. This is what I tell students all the time, that don't look for the model answer, because the model answer will not let you understand how to answer the next essay. It is a specific answer for a specific question, but instead you focus on the process to derive that model answer, which is, I think, Shabbir, what we do in detail in our course and in our Telegram channel. But it will be good, I feel, to show a little bit of how that works. Maybe take one subject and we can follow it up in the next few days to do the other things. What's your perspective? Is that
Yes, yes.
something?
I think
Huh?
students, you can tell us. You should all be fine with we discussing one or two topics rather than discussing all the topics in one session. And like Deb said, the idea is not to tell you what you would have written in a particular topic. The idea is to tell you how to decode a topic, because I'm sure the same topic may not be asked again for a long, long time. If you know the technique of decoding, and the technique I would like to teach you through these topics. So students, are you all okay with that? Me and Dave will take up one or two topics rather than keep rambling along analysis of the paper. I think they should be fine, I think.
Yeah, let's do that. And I just prepared a cheat sheet here for us to actually start developing the answer right in front of the students, right? And this is sort of almost a shrink-wrapped version of what we teach, right? Of our technique. And I thought this was obviously the entire technique with the essay canvas is difficult to do that in a short amount of time. So let us first, I think, Shabbir, if I can take the role of the scribe today, right? I will write on this page as you develop. You and I will both talk and develop this whole essay. But before we do that, if you can talk through on screen here, right? The nature of the topic, descriptive, the tone of the topic, which is inspirational, introspection,
Dave, we
visionary,
lost
or
your screen. You're sharing a screen. It's not there on the screen anymore.
okay, let me do that. Let me do. I think something happened. Okay, you should have it
It's there.
back up. So there are 5 things I've put in this table: nature of the topic, tone, implied wisdom, values mapped, current affairs. Um, what do these mean? If you can explain them, and then core arguments. Obviously, I think that's pretty clear. But what are we actually doing here, Shabbir?
Yeah, Dave. So friends, aspirants, all of you, see what happens is when you get a topic, the first step in decoding the topic is getting your mind to think in some directions, which in regular terms is called as brainstorming. Brainstorming, think about the topic, make some jottings. Let's relate the topic to something that we know. The brainstorming is a type of a series of thinking, some random, some structured, so that your mind starts working. The problem with brainstorming is, or the problem of thinking randomly is, this is an exam setting. Exam setting जिसमें कि आपको लिखना है approximately about 1 hour, okay, or there are 2 essays, 1.5 hour each. You have just half an hour, 20 minutes to think through. So if you do not think on the right lines from the word go, अगर आपका thinking process for some reason goes tangential, you're not able to zero down on the topic for whatever reason, you will lose the essay. So you should have some guardrails. You should have some kind of guide mechanism, some type of hand holding your mind through, so that you don't start thinking any random things. So this is what we call as directed brainstorming. think about something, but not randomly. Think about it in a proper directed order. Say I'm talking about some food that I'm eating. So I'll give you a code there. Okay, think about the food. Number one, tell me what preparation. Tell me what is the spices type. Tell me what the aroma is. Tell me, does it look like snacks or a full course meal? So these are those guide rails. So when I'm attacking a topic, truth knows no color. We're trying to set some mechanism so that you can start thinking in a proper way, in a structured way. और इसका first step है decoding what the topic is. What does the topic expect of you? Does the topic expect you to debate on it? Does the topic expect you to give us all dimensions? Is the topic telling us some implied things? जो छुपा हुआ है, how do you coax that out of the topic? So to know that, these are the 5 cues, the 5 steps towards understanding the topic, its demand, its nature, and how you can eventually develop the content for the topic. In short, yes, thanks, Dave, you wrote that down. It is the first step in directed brainstorming. Yeah, Dave, did I help you there? And students, please.
Absolutely. And, I think let's step into the topic. Tone, you talked about nature of topic, right? That's a key marker. Next is tone, and tone is slightly different from nature. Tone almost says that, okay, what kind of position should I take? Should I try to inspire? Should I try to introspect? And I can do that both in a descriptive way, in an argumentative way, or a persuasive way. All right. So there's a difference between tone and nature. And I think implied wisdom, values mapped, this is sort of getting to the sort of underlying layers of the topic, like what is hidden inside this statement. Is it talking about something deeper, like a particular philosophy or a particular idea? Is there a value, human value, hidden inside it? And then obviously the applications mapped to current affairs, right?
Yeah, Sankalp has a point. He says, sir, I feel when I think randomly, I get more ideas. Sir, or is it my misconception? Sankalp, you're right. When you think randomly, you will get more ideas. But the problem is, are all the ideas according to what the topic demands? See, if you had a luxury of write across maybe one entire day, write 3-4 drafts. Okay, तब तो आप चलो सोच लो randomly, jot down something, write something, go revisit it, again rectify it. Okay, ask your friends, come up with more ideas, write again. So that's a good thing if you're into purely creative writing, without any constraint of time, without any constraint of being evaluated in one go, in one writing go. यहाँ पर बेटा एग्जामिनेशन है, आपको बस एक ही चांस मिल रहा है. So in this one attempt of writing, if by any reason, random सोच कर, you might get more ideas, but what if you miss the topic? And my experience tells me there is more chance of you missing the topic than getting deep arguments. And एक और चीज सच है, to clarify, you will not get marks because you wrote more dimensions or more points. This is, okay, an essay. You cannot write more than 1,000, 1,200 words on the higher side. Okay. In 1,000 words, you can do justice to only 5, 6, 7 dimension max. So अगर आपने ज़्यादा dimension लिख भी लिया and the depth is not good, the quality of thinking is not good, the quality of arguments is not as inspiring, तो आपको marks नहीं मिलेगा. So you are right when you say random ideas may give you good number of ideas, but in the time constraints, in the exam conditions, where you must write very focused set of dimensions, which are rich and deep, we recommend do not go into random thinking. Go into directed brainstorming. I hope I answered your question.
I must add to that, Shabbir, that even creative writers, right? I have written a couple of books, I can vouch for that. Even writers need an outline. There is no way a writer can do their work without an outline, without a structure. So structure is very important, especially when you are appear in exam. So definitely do some random thinking, but when you are ready to put your thoughts on paper, that's when the true magic happens, is because you are structuring the story, so that it is going to be consumable to an audience, right? So that's what a director of a movie does. That's what a writer does. Everybody does that. The storyboarding, how to put together the structure, the guardrails, like Shabbir said. And this process that we are going to demonstrate here is something that I and Shabbir both feel that it allows for tremendous creativity. You will see as we will banter and start filling this up, there will be tremendous creativity coming out of this. And it's in no way constraining. So don't think like ये structure बन गया तो मैं इसके बाहर नहीं जा पाऊंगा. I cannot do free thinking. You can absolutely do free thinking within the confines of this structure. Yeah, Shabir. All right, I'm ready to write if you are ready to go.
Yes. So the first step is deciding what type of essay is it. Is the essay asking you to elaborate on many dimensions? Is the essay giving you a scope for arguing between two opposite poles? Is the essay trying to drive home an idea? So अगर आपको एक ही आइडिया पे लिखना है और उसका काउंटर पॉइंट नहीं है, we call that as persuasive essay. If there are debate type of topics, point A can be powerful and equally powerful can be a counterpoint. We call that as argumentative essay. A descriptive essay is more like academic expansion of an idea. There are 6-7 dimensions, go explore it. So the pehla step, because see, one of the misconceptions students have is about the idea of balance of an essay. The balance of essay is not always write pros and cons. The balance is not always about writing the positive negatives. So ये balance डालने के लिए ये पहला step है कि identify करो कि is the topic demanding you to take one major position and go after it. We call that as persuasive. So यही तीन होता है. There are many other types also, but most essays of UPSC इसी तीन में fit हो जाता है. So if you've understood this, guys, can you tell us online? Can you tell us what do you think? Of course, Malik Samra has done one session with us. You probably know this answer a bit better. But then again, there's no fixed rule. The essay is always descriptive or argumentative or persuasive. The essay can be either of these, and two people can take two positions differently and yet be right. So let's see, what do you think, all of you? Truth knows no color. Is it a descriptive topic? Is it an argumentative topic, or is it a persuasive topic? Dave, you want to add something on this and maybe give some cues or your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think, you talked about these three types, and I often use the example that, descriptive almost is one point and you are exploding or expanding across all directions, right? And I think of that as sort of a star, a structure, or a wheel, right? You have spokes going out in all directions. Argumentative is almost like there are two poles or 2 points, and you are pushing and pulling between those 2 points. And persuasive is one single point, and you are walking steadfastly in that direction. So it almost feels like a descriptive is something that a professor is speaking, right? The professor is explaining all aspects of, let's say, gender inequality or courage, and, okay, describe courage, right? Or explain courage and its nuances. Argumentative feels like, okay, Shabbir and Deb are talking and they have two opposing views of the topic, right? Or two persons talking and they have two opposing views. Persuasive is something slightly different. It has a call to action, it has some emotion, it has some inspiration, it has some belief in it. To the next level, it's calling you almost to take action in a particular direction. So that's how I think about it. I think the responses have
We
started
have some
coming.
responses, yes.
Yes.
So some say it's
Persuasive.
descriptive, persuasive, it's one-sided. Argument, Isha says argumentative. Okay, I can see you're all not entirely wrong. Okay, it's always difficult to be very, very precise here. Okay, um, um, truth knows no color. Some of us can say no. Truth is contextual. Uh, Truth is not absolute. The truth has versions, if that's what you mean. If I take that dimension, it can look like a debate. On one hand, truth knows no color. On the other hand, yes, truth is contextual. If I go by that argument, Isha, it can be argumentative, but I will put my approach at persuasive. Okay, because this is the counterpoint is not as strong, okay, as the core meaning of this particular topic. Okay, so I would put it as persuasive. It looks like one-sided, though there can be some counter argument. The counter argument is not a very strong counter argument. It is like a fundamental truth, correct? Fundamental truth is absolute, correct, Sankalp? That's my positioning. Dave, you agree on this? You have another view?
I think I agree. I think that I sometimes think, why is the topic framed in the way it is framed, right? Truth knows no color. It is because that counterpoint exists today in the world, right? There is a strong counterpoint that exists in the world, and which is why we are telling, or this sounds like definitely persuasive, because this sounds like a leader saying, because truth knows no color is not an academic topic, Shabbir. That's what I felt when I read this. I said, this is not academic. This is going towards inequality. It is going towards social fault lines. It is going towards conflicts. I found many things inside it that told me that this cannot be a professor speaking. This has to be a leader talking about how do human beings lead a better life, how we can bring about some. So almost like I absolutely agree. It's a persuasive topic, but I think a lot of this persuasion will go into negating the counterpoint. That's how I felt I should write it. But I should write this persuasive essay, not completely ignoring the counterpoint, but bringing it in and then refuting it. Because therein lies the beauty or the need of the topic is sort of begging me that do this, right? That's the immediate reaction I'm getting. And guys, what we are trying to do here, Shabir and I, is do a proper brainstorming, right? So we are actually thinking aloud as we fill the sheet. And some bit of this thinking aloud is something that you need to do with yourself when you sit down with an essay. And this is how you should go about it, right? Oh, what is the topic really asking me to write about? I think to me, it sounded like there is a counterpoint and you must negate it. Shabir.
Yes, I mean, Dave, you said a very nice thing. In debates, this is a technique to establish your point of view. You must talk about the opposing points and demolish those points. Okay, if I have to talk about a position and I have to establish that my position sahi hai, I must talk about what my opponents can tell, what my opposition can argue against, and then one by one take it apart. Okay, so that's what you mean, that we have to acknowledge the counterpoints, but make sure that you ultimately drive the argument towards truth knows no color. So yes, there are counterpoints, and we must acknowledge that. So agreed, absolutely. So we
All right,
can,
let's
yeah,
get
I
to
think that's the
tone.
first point. One
Yeah.
point taken care of. Yeah. The next one. We talk about the tone now.
Yes, you mentioned four things: inspirational, introspection, visionary, analytical. Maybe talk a little bit. So while everybody is thinking, you can narrate a little bit about the nature of this tone.
Yeah, the tone is the emotion attached to a particular topic. Whenever you have a philosophical topic, invariably, a philosophical topic is trying to uh, develop some kind of or deliver some kind of a message. There's a message, and the message is maybe inspire some people in action. The message could be look deep within, introspect, look for answers within. The message can be the visionary one, the larger goal, the bigger purpose, and analytical, where the tone is that it is trying to look for reasons, it's trying to understand something, is analytical. This particular topic also has an emotion, like, and there you said it, there is a context in which this topic is given. If you look around us, the conflicts that we have, the wars that we are fighting, the fault lines we have, caste fault line, religious fault line, the kind of exploitative histories that we have read. So एक message इसका ये है कि all these biases, prejudice, all these differences that we have is probably a very superficial thing, and in reality, truth knows no color. So in this particular topic, okay,
And Shabbir,
yeah.
I was sorry to butt in, but I was almost thinking of a corollary to this subject, right? The topic. I said, if truth knows no color, lies must be 4K, Ultra HD, and Technicolor, right? So, so lies, if you look at it, the lens you put on, colored glasses, or any other type of lies, propaganda, fake news, they're always extremely colorful, extremely sensational. Like the narratives that some news channels unfortunately are taking these days. So yeah, lies. I just thought of that, and I thought I should butt in and tell this, that lies are extremely colorful, while truth knows no color. Right?
In fact, on the chat, Muzammil says the truth knows no color is in natural science. The human interpretation is full of colors. So I think Muzammil was reading your mind. Yes,
Yeah.
how a human mind constructs things, how human mind rationalizes things, how human mind justifies things. It's full of colorful arguments, colorful explanations. You add your own versions to what truth is. So yes, you're right. If truth knows no color, the other side is what's false, what's dishonest, has so much colors. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So how do we conclude this? So in my opinion, I don't think this is an analytical one. It's not about why truth knows no color. Okay, of course there can be. I will not dismiss analysis here, but yes, there is an element of what inspiration bhi hai, introspection bhi hai. Isha says it's a mix of all according to me. So where do you want to put this? Truth knows no color. Okay, guys on the chat, where do you want to put it? Yes, Manoj, you're right. Lies is decorative. Okay, it's decorated. Correct. So take a pick. What do you think? Truth knows no color. Okay.
So when I
And
look
Isha is
at
right.
it,
There's a yeah.
Shabir,
Please.
I also had the same thing as Isha, that this kind of has many elements, in the sense that while it is not, a tone is not analytical, but you have to do analysis to bring home the point. But the tone, I think, when I look at it, I almost feel like it is not really introspection only, because truth knows no color. Okay, you can argue that there is a self-reflection part of it, that I will be truthful, and anything that is presented to me, I should evaluate without any biases and prejudices. All that is okay, but the impact of this statement, truth knows no color, is very global, is much bigger than the particular self. So I think it is not just introspection also. So I would go with inspirational, visionary. Well, visionary, maybe it is not something futuristic in that sense, that it's not something that hasn't happened in the past, but it is definitely inspirational. See, visionary I always associate with something that has not been thought before. It is futuristic, it is far out, it's a vision of how future will look like. But I think it is definitely inspirational.
Yeah, it's like a leader trying to motivate people. Can you go beyond your narrow biases? Can you think beyond your own prejudice? He's inspiring people. Okay, can you start crossing those barriers or the fences that you have created around you? He's inspiring people to action. Okay, let's all collaborate. Let's all work together. The differences are all unreal. Okay, the interpretations are all biased. So yes, I agree. It is more inspirational. It's about a leadership thing that's coaxing a group of people, a community, a society, okay, to see life beyond the narrow prejudices, biases, and maybe the narrow thinking that we have developed over the years. So uh, how to bring out truth conclusively without being biased? Uh, Kaushik, how to bring out the truth? वो अलग ही डिबेट हो जाएगा, but पहले let us accept the fact, okay, or can we at least understand what he means by truth knows no color. अब ये truth कैसे पहुंचेंगे, वो next step होगा. But I can see why you're so you're thinking in those lines. Okay, so yes, this is according to me an inspirational topic. Okay, so the implied wisdom, the third step. By the way, if you all are noticing, while we're discussing these, you're getting lot of points. You are getting lot of dimensions, जो otherwise शायद आपका miss हो जाता. Okay, so make sure that you do some jottings, writings while we are talking and thinking. Okay, it helps you. Okay, so implied wisdom. So in a topic, there are certain keywords, and that keywords mean something more than what the literally meaning conveys. So color is not just color, red, blue, green nahi hai. The color means, okay, it could mean, how it can mean perceptions. Color can mean interpretations. The word color can mean our preferences. Okay, the color could mean, our imaginations. Okay, where imagination has, a bit more of, subjectivity. Truth knows no color. Okay, the color is telling us truth is objective. There is no subjectivity. Okay, so this is the way of opening up a topic. Take up the topic, look up the keywords, and try to decode the keywords. Whereas truth, truth can mean many things here. So what does the word truth mean? So I can think of truth means justice. Truth can mean reality. Truth can mean fundamental, okay, say laws. Truth can mean, rather than me saying everything, yeah, guys, why don't you guys participate? And they,
Yeah.
fundamental laws, universal laws. Yeah.
I was thinking truth as what is absolute versus what is relative or contextual truth, or truth for a particular community or a culture. So there is a angle of divisions, or when I talk of color, I put something that I call social fault lines. Right. So social fault lines is a term that I use for everything, right? So ethnicity, right? It could be race, religion, um, and gender, anything, right? So social fault lines. So there is, for example, there is a truth that the Palestinians will tell you, and there is a truth that the Israelis will tell you, right? Which is the truth. And what happens is, when there are two truths that are in lockstep, or either in lockstep or battling with each other, are loggerheads rather, right? When two truths are at loggerheads with each other, that is the genesis of a conflict. So I think the truth knows no color topic has a lot of conflict inside it. So Shabbir, that is the other hidden sort of keyword
Yeah,
I found
yeah.
that may not be truth or maybe I'll write it under color. Is all kinds of conflict, and conflict happens because of um, and when I get an idea, I write it, preferably in a complete sentence, so I can use it, because keywords are just words, right? You sometimes you write the keywords and you forgot in what context I thought of it. So if you can jot down your things in complete sentences. So conflict happens when relative truths collide, right? So this is one of the implied wisdoms, right? And Shabira was thinking, whenever there is conflict, there is an aspect of courage that is on the other side. So if you recall, I think one of the things that we did, one of the topics we did from one of Maya Angelou's quotes in our course, and the quote loosely, I don't exactly remember it, but it says that to prevent the inhumanity of the past, we must have the courage to first look at it in its eye, that we must have the courage to understand what has happened in history so that it doesn't get repeated in future. So I think whenever there is conflict, there has to be courage, and courage is something which is a value I uh, deeply attach to truth, because I think truth is, you need to be courageous to look at truth in the eye. So this is the reason why people have their own truths, which is not really the absolute truth, but it's something that is convenient for them. So I think that is the fundamental debate in this essay, is to demarcate between um, absolute truth and truth that is colored with some culture, community, prejudice, or convenience. That is the color that you apply to truth. That truth actually is not that. That is just a version of the truth that you have created for yourself, for your convenience. So that those are the two, courage and conflict, that I would add here.
So basically, what you did there was, if I'm trying to just summarize this. So when we say you look at a topic and find out the implied wisdom, there are two ways of doing this. One is look at the implied wisdom from the keywords. So what I was doing was look up the implied wisdom from the keywords. That's one. The second is look at the implied wisdom from the statement. Truth knows no color का एक implied wisdom ये है, any truth that leads to conflict cannot be truth. Okay. Any truth that does not ask for courage, or that doesn't demand courage to stand up and support it in face of opposition, it can't be the truth. So that's what I think they were trying to. I hope I could convey
Absolutely.
that. So there are two aspects of, or the two ways of getting to the implied wisdom. One, I repeat, is look for the implied wisdom from the keywords. Second is look for the implied wisdom from the statement itself. So what I took from Deb's ideas is truth knows no color. का एक implied wisdom ये है that any idea, any thought, any wisdom that leads to conflicts, that leads to wars, that leads to violent say interactions, that can't be truth. So this topic is trying to tell us that whatever conflicts we have today is because there are versions of what people think is true. I think that is where the concept of absolute truth will come up. The absolute truth, like equality, it cannot mean anything but equality. An absolute truth, like say courage, cannot be anything but courage in its true, honest, innocent form. Truth knows no color. Yeah, but truth can mean justice. Justice that cannot be biased, that cannot have any other interpretation than what a fundamental justice should mean. So the two ways of looking at the implied wisdom.
Yeah, and Shabbir, your words actually reminded me of those three magical words that we use: liberty, equality, and justice.
Yes, yes.
And in a way, this is very reformist in its tone, right? It is very, it has huge social implications. We are saying liberty also knows no color. I should be free no matter who I am. I should be equal, and there should be justice for me. So I think now you can appreciate all of the underlying themes of this truth knows no color as a topic, right? So you are starting to understand all of the things you can write about in this whole essay topic. And I totally agree. I think it can happen both ways. One is look at the keyword and derive the implied wisdom, or look at the topic and derive the implied wisdom from there. I think, Shabbir, we kind of almost mapped the values. I hope we have done this implied wisdom sufficiently. And let's do a little bit of the values. So we can get into a little bit more of a depth of what ideas in terms of, I mean, one thing is very clear, right? So what we are saying, if I summarize all of our discussion, is that humanity is at the core of it all, right? The ultimate truth, some way connected to humanity: liberty, equality, justice, truth, inequality. I think we are talking about humanity at some level. And I think we have to figure out, again, I'm itching to kind of get to the core values. That's all I'm saying, that let's get to it. I think we have done this sufficiently.
Yeah, we can move on.
Move on. Yeah. Malik
Okay,
says,
so
sir, we can't hear you. Others, can you give us a sense? Can you hear us?
yeah, once in a while there is a bit of pause. Otherwise, I think it's fine. I don't know others if they have the same problem. It aligns with Anekantvad. Isha says audible. It's audible. So maybe it could be local problem there. I guess local problem. So Malik can maybe log out and log back in.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So let's get to the values. I think some of them, Shabbir, is
It's
already
all there. Yes.
all there.
Courage is
Right.
value, liberty is value, justice is values. Okay. Truth itself is a value. Okay. So we have more or less mapped the values as a part of implied wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay. honesty, integrity, okay, courage, okay, all of that becomes part of value. Yeah, so I think we have taken
Yeah.
care of that. And current affairs, Dave, we just talked about it. We can relate it to wars and conflicts. We can relate it to, okay, the communal violence. We can relate it to the gender prejudice, patriarchy, where truth is colored by gender roles or gender perceptions, uh, racial conflicts. It's all there. And in fact, truth knows no color. I can spin it off towards climate change also.
Yeah.
Right? There is a lot of there's a lot of subjectivity about global warming. Okay, so in reality, the truth is you can't deny it. So climate change से relate कर सकते हैं हम लोग, ठीक है?
Yeah. I
So
think the moment we say conflict, Shabir, the thing widens quite a bit because there is all kinds of conflicts. There are conflicts at a individual level. There are interpersonal conflicts. There is your own conflict going on inside your head all the time, right? Um, and there is global conflicts also. So this topic, I feel, is um, you won't have a problem finding an example for it, right? So there is so many examples, and every conflict is mired with opinions. I almost feel like when we start talking about truth, it becomes an opinion of of sorts, and we add color, right? So in fact, this very debate itself is adding color to what truth is. So in a way, truth knows no color reminded me of a perfect crystal which is colorless, which shines, and which is impossible to put a color on it. It is almost like that, right? So anyway, I think
I
this,
like the point of what Malik and Isha say. This
yeah,
topic is also linked to this the media spinning new versions of every event.
yeah,
So
fake
yes, you're
news.
right. Okay,
Yeah,
fake news, the yellow journalism, where the fake debates that we have on the media.
yeah,
Exactly, all examples of how truth has been manipulated, how truth is completely twisted, misinterpreted. That can't be the truth. So yes, you're right. But before we move on, online students, are you able to appreciate what is happening here? I mean, more than the words that we have given, do you understand the process? Process how the topic was, decoded. We got into the meanings. Yeah. Or you have some doubts on this. You want to clarify something. Anybody? So just need to pass through prisms of conscience. Ah, yes, very nice. Truth knows no color. Okay, a very important dimension is that it must be supported by one's deep conscience. Yes, yes. Okay. Oh, excellent, excellent. And guys, if you want to ask me, okay, answer one of your questions. How do we do this? See, this technique is something that you have to do across 20, 30 topics. In fact, Dave, can we spend some time telling the students briefly about what we do, the course that we have, and how we guide students? Um, if you can share something quickly for the benefit of those who have not seen through the process.
yeah, yeah. So I think you'll get the details of this or detailed instructions of this process in our course. It's a 4 week long self-paced course, 4 to 6 weeks, roughly what people take. And this, what we are doing is what we teach in week 1 and 2, is basically slicing and dicing the topic and actually creating enough content so that we know what is the raw ingredients of this topic, right? So now exactly that is what we are doing. You're collecting the ingredients, okay? And one thing every chef knows, if you have cooked an omelette also at home, you'll know this, that you have to get all the ingredients together. Oh, pyaz, mirchi, anda, everything you have to get. Or, um, my apologies to vegetarians, but uh, that's
ठीक है, अंडा हटा के आप घिया का बात कर लो, तोरी
हाँ,
का बात
पोहा
कर लो,
पोहा
तो
डाल
doesn't
दो,
matter.
right?
पोहा
पोहा
डाल
डाल
दो.
दो. But see, you have to get the ingredients together. This is what we do in week 1 and week 2 is we get the ingredients, what makes a good intro, what makes a good conclusion, what makes good bodies, the arguments, the keywords, the values, current affairs. ये सब हो गया ingredients. Then comes the cooking process. The cooking process is the sequence in which you structure these things together to make the dish. Or how a filmmaker would say, it's a storyboarding process. And we call it the essay canvas. So we have a canvas, we put all of this in a structured way. So you know, okay, here's my intro. What do I exactly write about intro? How do I link from argument to argument? There is a science behind it, right? So that's what you do in next week. And week after the cooking process, the essay canvas is tests and feedback, right? So that's the last week. And very, very easy paced, intense, but easy paced. And we do enough live sessions to clarify your doubts. But the best thing is that if you join our Telegram channel, I'll flash it here for a bit for those of you who haven't. You join our Telegram channel and you practice with us even after the course is over. Okay, even after the course is over, you can continue to practice with us on the Telegram channel. I do sometimes 2 essay topics, sometimes 1, sometimes other assignments, but we do active practice till your exams, right? And you can drop off anytime you want, but I would love for you to stay till your exam, practice those essays, because everything is about practice. This is almost like the course is like the gymming session. You come, you do gym sessions with trainers, right? Shabbir and Deb are your trainers. Will help you, give you the recipe, but then you have to go back home and every day you need to practice. So that's what we do in the course. More to come. If you are interested, go to our website, and there's a link in the description, I'm sure, of the course, and we can figure out. I think next batch is starting sometime in the third week of September, for those of you who haven't. Yeah, Shabir, that was
So,
my short 1 minute.
yeah, so what we are insisting on is all of you, students while writing essays, they get into a very wrong direction. Everybody is asking about, sir, intro क्या लिखें, sir, conclusion क्या लिखें, sir, क्या example दें, sir, can I write a stoka in Hindi, sir, can I write a story about Gandhi ji? Those are wrong questions to ask. The first important question is find a way, a technique to understand the essay. आप स्टोरी लिखो, आप पोइट्री लिखो, राइट इन हिंदी, राइट इंग्लिश, वो बाद में आता है. Okay, so this technique is telling you about how to get into the core message of the essay. Okay, so fine. Now that we have understood the purpose, and I'm happy some of you understand it. Okay, so all of you must join Telegram channel is our recommendation. But let's get on. So what are the core arguments? Okay, now that we have so much of depth in this topic, the core arguments. Now from all of this, we must identify 4, 5, 6 key ideas on which we will write the entire essay. अभी core arguments को identify करने के बहुत techniques हैं. We can't discuss all of that right now. But I'll give you one example of a core argument. Say one example of core argument is that what we said earlier, that justice cannot be biased. Okay, and write about this. This is one of the core arguments I can think on. The justice cannot be biased. Okay, justice has to be impartial. okay, without any preconceived prejudices. So this is one core argument on which please write. How if justice is biased, how there is a complete travesty of justice, how judges, if they are parochial, okay, so that can't be justice. Justice is something that is probably one of the important milestones of what makes a society mature and grow, and but makes a society balanced and has a sense of fairness. इसमें develop करो. This is one example of a dimension I picked out from our conversation. Okay, Dave, would you suggest one more dimension?
Yeah, let me write. So I think before that, and what we'll do is we'll order them eventually, right? So don't worry about the order for now. But I think before that, I felt we should write something about the nature or universality of truth, right?
That's
And
one
we write
dimension.
about absolute truth and relative situations, right? So we talk about sort of a truth, like you can take this example of the Palestinian truth versus the Israeli truth, right? There is some truth to that, that yeah, they have a point. But the broader truth, what is the broader truth? You have to engage in that and you have to describe and you have to bring home the fact that truth, or let me make it a little more clear, right? Truth is absolute, although its interpretations might vary. Something like that, right? So I will discuss some bit of absolute truth and relative situation, but my overall argument I'm making is the fundamental truth, as so many of you have said, is that it is absolute, but it has interpretation. So I am opening the door to the counterpoint. I don't have to actually write the counterpoint here, but I am opening, saying yes, there is a nature of truth that is absolute, and absolute means no colors.
The Sankalp says the
Shabir?
same thing. Absoluteness of humanity. Okay, so that can be one dimension. Okay, one dimension can be how a humanity or being humane is absolute. It can't be biased in choosing community or identity issues. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sankalp, that's fine. Good. So very much on the line what Dave is telling us.
And I think I will write, so we'll not forget, right? So humanity, and you might say universal laws of nature, right? Physical laws of the nature. These are things that are true. They are not biased through any kind of prejudice, right? So something like that. And I think just more cues for you to kind of write more at this point. But the fundamental one is, let me put it in italics. This is the core, right? Okay, Shabbir, over to you for one more dimension.
One more dimension, I just think while you said this, I was thinking through. One dimension, like we discussed, is a truth that leads to conflicts, a truth that leads to wars, okay, or exploitation, or rather, I rephrase it, interpretations that leads to war, interpretations that lead to conflicts can't be the truth. That's my third dimension. Interpretations that can lead to wars, that can lead to conflicts, interpretations that justifies violence, okay, it can't be the truth. Okay, so maybe I can link this with that humanity thing. ये एक third dimension हो गया. And if you all can see, a lot of dimensions are pulling out from the conversation that we had while we were decoding the topic. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, let's talk. I'll take the mic for the next one. I will say that facing up to absolute truth needs courage. Okay, here I'll bring in the courage angle and say that we need to be courageous to actually say yes to this topic, right? Truth knows no color. That um, convenience, self-interest, and um, partial stance um, creates versions of truth or half truths, something like that, right? So basically, what I'm doing is I am taking this Palestinian truth, or Indian truth, or Pakistani truth, or um, I'm reducing them. I'm calling them half truths, right? I'm saying that, okay, that is true, but that is only part of the story. So here I can take so many example of what we call cherry picking history. And
Yeah.
we can take so many examples of propaganda, information warfare, movies that have cherry picked history to tell us a particular narrative. That okay, and their only claim is that the history before them has also been partial. So he's like, okay, the revenge. So I'm taking revenge, not teaching you history. So I think cherry picking history, you can say a lot about that in a topic like this. Shabir?
Okay. So very interesting dimension. Muzammil says that when truth is replaced by silence, then silence is the lie. Very nice. Okay. So truth knows no color का एक dimension ये है that if truth is replaced by silence, ठीक है. I take your point. There can be one dimension you can develop on. Truth is immortal. Oh, very nice. Truth knows no color would imply truth is immortal. Truth is eternal truth. Truth will not be, will not be interpreted according to time and space. Okay, that's one dimension. Okay, truth is eternal. Truth is truth across time and space. Excellent. क्योंकि अगर आपको ये सब आइडियाज मिल गया ना, ये आपके डायमेंशंस के हेडिंग्स बन गए, then the English kicks in. Then probably मैं स्टोरी लिखूं, क्या एग्जाम्पल लिखूं, क्या श्लोका लिखूं, क्या पोइट्री लिखूं, इसके बाद आता है. Okay, so you're getting the dimensions. Very nice. Legs Day, interesting name that you have. I'm trying not to think too much into it, but ठीक है. Muzambil, scientific truth like gravity. Yes, Aish. There also can be one of the dimensions. The truth knows colors. May the lot of science is okay beyond one's convenience. What is scientific? Okay, it can't be cherry picked. Okay, what is universal laws? Okay, gravity, thermodynamics. So yes, वो भी एक बन जाएगा. One dimension can be. यहाँ पर truth would mean science. The science is unbiased. What is science? What is rational? Okay, cannot have interpretations. Science works on eternal laws. Excellent. Yes, वो भी add हो गया आपका.
So, Shabir, there is a nuance here, and I'm hoping we can bring this out. We said justice, we related justice to truth in a lot of ways, but there is an association of justice with morality and justice with being good. But science doesn't look at the world that way, right? For science, there is no good and bad. There is only which is, right? That's what they say, that science doesn't differentiate, science doesn't have morals. It just explains the course of history. But we are talking about something that is, this is where my input to all of you is that don't go down only the science route when you talk about truth, because truth is bigger than science. Science might be helping you describe the truth. Science is also trying to describe something that is absolute. But the truth, when it talk about the word truth, talk about justice, morality, there is some amount of goodness, humanity. And for example, science might say that a human being will die regardless, and it's emotionless about the thing that, okay, when a bullet goes through my heart, I will fall down. That is what science will say. And science will have no emotion to either the bullet or the person getting hit by the bullet. But when you talk about truth, do it at a slightly different level. So, Shabir, I was thinking of one more dimension, which is also, I don't know where to keep it. I would love to get your perspective. I would say something like truth is a fundamental value, and values exist to elevate humanity. This is sort of what is going around in my head as I'm listening to everything, the conversation, right? That we are saying something more than science. We are bringing in some goodness, and truth is a combination of this. So, truth is also a value. Why do we have values in the first place? Why are values important? Values are there to elevate humanity. And when the subject becomes, like you said, when there is conflict and war, humanity suffers. And therefore, we must re-examine these things that look like truths, but they're not really truth. So I want to kind of bring in that angle that truth is a fundamental value. Values exist to elevate humanity. So therefore, and I don't know whether you agree with it, the students agree with it, but here's what I'll try to do with my, therefore, truth exists um, to see, truth is, you can say truth is reality. It is we that define the truth. Therefore, truth, I'm saying, exists, or values exist to elevate humanity. Truth is a fundamental value. So, truth, I should not say truth exists to elevate. I'll say truth elevates or should elevate humanity. What are your thoughts on this, Shabir? It's a little bit intertwined, right? So I would love to hear how you dissect this point.
I was trying to, I mean, the idea is excellent. I was trying to think through how do I link it to the idea no color. And I think you gave me that cue in the last one, that if there is a truth or there's an idea or there's a value that has an element of bias, or it picks positions, then it cannot be elevating humanity. Elevating humanity has to be absolute. It cannot pick and choose. Humanity cannot be divided into my people and your people. Humanity cannot be on the basis of subjective choices of what we like or don't like. So any truth that does not elevate humanity can't be truth, and in that sense, truth can have no color.
Yeah,
Right.
and I
So
think Isha says a wonderful thing, Satyamev Jayate, right? I think you can make it here. You can actually, that is a constant theme in this entire essay, I feel, but here's a good place to make it. Yeah. So we have 5. I think we can go on. There might be a few others also.
yeah, absolutely. In fact, you know what you have done? The fifth point can be a very nice conclusion to the topic. When we are
Yeah.
ending the entire essay, this can be a very smooth conclusion. Having discussed dimensions of what is truth and no color, no biases, it moves. Truth knows no color kind of gives purpose to truth, where truth has to be elevating humanity. So I think the topic gets delivered in this last topic point of yours. Brilliant, excellent.
Okay. So I think that gives you the all the ingredients you need to write this essay. We if we do a short summary, we did the nature of the topic, we discussed the tone, we discussed all the keywords, the implied wisdom, the metaphors, we mapped the values, we mapped current affairs. And I think from the values also you can get the moral philosophies that talk about this. You can, for example, when you're talking about truth, you can talk about Socratic inquiry and how he's talked about, the spirit of analysis, scientific thinking. You can talk about so many other, philosophies across the world. There is a there is a set of reading materials also we give as part of the course, which is around what 20-25 different themes, philosophical themes, so that
Yeah.
students find it easier to map. So definitely do that. And then current affairs and core arguments. So I think, Shabbir, we have the ingredients. Now the question is, how do you cook them? And obviously uh, you can all try to do it. I think you have the basic recipe now.
I'll
Um,
suggest students, if you're interested, why don't you take a screenshot of this, or maybe go back and listen to the whole discussion once again, and why don't you write a couple of pages on this? आप लिखो और टेलीग्राम चैनल में डाल दो. In fact, we can have a lot of peer reviews there. Many of you are there on Edukemy, essays with Edukemy Telegram channel. Write this. In fact, आज possible तो आज लिख डालो. Writing 2-3 pages, not entire essay, just 2-3 pages on some of this dimension. Take up one dimension, write maybe one or half a page. It'll be very nice learning for all of you. Okay, so forget about the complete essay writing. आप ये काम करो. Do this with us for 10, 15, 20 topics. I promise you, you will start seeing essays in a very different light. Okay, so Dave, I think in our excitement, we have not seen. We have gone much. Okay, we have crossed our
yeah.
time boundaries.
No, I think it
Okay.
was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. Like always, I enjoy a conversation about essays with you. And I feel like discussing with you also brings out my best thought process. And this is what I also tell students that, if you have a roommate, anybody that you love bantering with, you take an essay topic, you're having chai, coffee, just spend 10 minutes discussing a essay topic. It'll give you so many different ideas, much more than what you can do yourself. So I think essays can be something that can be done in a cohort, in a small group with two people. It's very interesting. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Hopefully the students did too.
I did too. Yes, wonderful. So, guys, that's all we have time for today. We're trying to have more live sessions. We'll see how time permits us. We'll take you through a couple of more topics. Maybe same time, sometime this week or next week, we'll let you know. But thanks for joining us. Do be a part of this process. Be around, talk to us, and join our Telegram channel. And all of you, if you haven't seen our Yuki, please do so and give us a feedback. AskYuki.com or Ask Yuki Telegram channel. Let us know what you think about it. Okay. Thank you so much. Good night, all of you. Okay. Have a great day tomorrow.
Thank you,
Thanks, Dave.
everybody.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.